Welcome to Daily Stoic Practice, your compass to navigate the complexities of modern life with ancient wisdom. Have you ever felt the sting of disrespect, that passive-aggressive comment, a dismissive glance, or someone outright ignoring your boundaries? It's frustrating, even infuriating. But how do you handle it without losing your composure or your self-respect? The Stoics believed in the power of self-control and intentional action, and their philosophy offers timeless wisdom for navigating situations like this. In this video, we're diving into 5 powerful strategies to handle people who don't respect you. With grace, confidence, and a little Stoic charm. Whether it's maintaining your dignity, reclaiming your peace, or setting unshakable boundaries, these tools will empower you to rise above disrespect and own your worth unapologetically. Ready to shift the dynamic and take back your power? Let's get started. The first step to respecting yourself and earning respect from others: embrace the power of silence. Speak without speaking. Silence, often underestimated, can carry the weight of 1,000 words. When someone hurls negativity your way, your instinct might be to defend yourself, explain, or retaliate. But what if you chose a different path? One where silence speaks louder than any response ever could. Picture this. A colleague makes a sly, backhanded comment about your recent project during a meeting. It's subtle, masked as a joke, but it stings. Instead of firing back or trying to justify yourself, you pause. You raise an eyebrow, maybe lean back slightly and say nothing. The room grows quiet, the tension palpable. That silence? It's deafening, not for you but for them. This deliberate pause does more than disarm. It forces them to sit with their words, naked and exposed. Without your reaction to validate or deflect their behavior, they're left alone to confront the pettiness of their actions. Silence, in this context, becomes a mirror, reflecting their negativity back at them. Choosing silence isn't about being passive, it's about being deliberate. It's a choice, a refusal to engage in someone else's game. It's a way of saying, I won't give you the energy you're seeking. And here's the magic. The less you respond, the more control you maintain over the situation, and most importantly, over yourself. Why does this work so effectively? Disrespectful people often thrive on reactions. They want to see you flustered, defensive, or upset. It feeds their sense of power. By remaining silent, you deprive them of the reaction they crave. Instead, you project calmness and confidence, signaling that their words hold no sway over you. Silence also serves as a powerful tool for self-preservation. Reacting to every slight, every rude comment drains your energy and pulls you into a cycle of unnecessary conflict. By embracing silence, you protect your peace and maintain your emotional boundaries. It's an act of self-respect, a reminder that not every comment deserves a response, and not every action needs justification. Here's a deeper layer to consider. Silence can also communicate strength. It tells others that you're secure enough in yourself not to need validation or approval. It shows that your sense of self-worth isn't tied to someone else's opinions. And that kind of quiet confidence? It's magnetic and unsettling for those who rely on disrespect to assert their dominance. I've seen the transformative power of silence firsthand. Once, a team member habitually undercut my contributions during brainstorming sessions. Instead of defending myself or engaging in a tit-for-tat, I chose silence. The next time it happened, I met their comment with nothing more than a calm, steady gaze. The silence that followed was louder than any rebuttal I could have offered. They quickly moved on, and over time, their interruptions diminished. My silence had said everything it needed to. Silence is not weakness, it's restraint. It's the strength to rise above negativity, to choose dignity over drama. It's a way of holding your ground without lifting a finger. So the next time someone throws a verbal jab your way, pause. Take a breath. Let their words linger in the air, unaddressed. Watch as the silence unsettles them and empowers you. In those quiet moments, you reclaim your peace and remind yourself, and everyone else, that your worth doesn't need defending. 2. The silent stare. Let your presence speak louder than words. When faced with disrespect, our instinct often urges us to react, to defend ourselves, to argue, or to prove our worth. But what if the most powerful response wasn't words at all? Enter the silent stare, a technique as subtle as it is commanding. It's not about being passive-aggressive or confrontational. It's about reclaiming your power with a calm, unshakable presence. Imagine this scenario. You're in a meeting, presenting an idea you're passionate about, and someone repeatedly interrupts or talks over you. It's frustrating, right? Most of us would instinctively try to jump back into the conversation or even raise our voice to match theirs. But what if, instead, you chose to lean back, cross your arms, and lock your gaze firmly on them? No blinking, no expression, just quiet, steady eye contact. Suddenly, the dynamics shift. The beauty of the silent stare lies in its simplicity and effectiveness. People who disrespect others often thrive on reactions. They're fishing for a flustered retort, a defensive argument, or even an emotional outburst. By withholding all of that and simply staring, you deny them the satisfaction they're seeking. What's left is a growing discomfort as they're forced to sit with their behavior, unmasked and laid bare for everyone to see. This isn't just a technique for shutting someone down. It's an act of self-respect. The silent stare communicates volumes without uttering a single word. It says, "I see what you're doing, and I won't be drawn into your game." It's a declaration that you value your peace and dignity too much to stoop to their level. But the power of the silent stare doesn't stop at silencing the other person. It also works wonders on your own self-perception. Every time you choose this approach over an emotional reaction, you're reinforcing your inner strength. You're telling yourself that their words or actions don't define your worth. Instead of reacting impulsively, you're standing firm, unbothered, and unapologetically in control. Let's dig deeper into why this works so effectively. The silent stare acts as a psychological mirror, forcing the other person to confront their behavior without you needing to explain or defend yourself. Most people don't like what they see when they're left alone with the reflection of their disrespectful actions. This moment of tension, created by your unwavering calmness, often leads them to backtrack, stumble over their words, or simply stop. I've seen this tactic work in real life, time and time again. Take, for instance, a group meeting where one colleague made it his mission to cut me off at every turn. Polite interjections didn't work, and neither did trying to speak louder. Finally, I decided to do something different. When he interrupted me for the third time, I stopped mid-sentence, leaned back in my chair, crossed my arms, and simply stared at him. No blinking, no expression, just unwavering eye contact. Within seconds, the room grew silent, and all eyes turned to him. He fumbled, stumbled over his words, and quickly lost the attention he so desperately sought. From that day forward, he thought twice before speaking over me again. This small, seemingly simple act does more than just silence disrespect. It builds your inner resilience. It reminds you that you don't need to raise your voice to be heard or lower your standards to fit someone else's narrative. You're in control of how you respond, and that control is power. The silent stare is a tool for those moments when words feel inadequate or unnecessary. It's a way to draw a line in the sand without causing a scene, a way to assert yourself without being aggressive. It's a reminder to yourself and others that respect begins with you, and that your energy is too precious to waste on people who don't see your value. So the next time someone tests your boundaries, resist the urge to react. Instead, take a deep breath, hold your ground, and let your silence do the talking. You might be surprised at how quickly they back down, and how empowered you feel in the process. 3. Stop explaining your choices. Own your decisions with confidence. How could you do that? Why didn't you attend? What were you thinking? If these questions sound familiar, you're not alone. People often believe they're entitled to explanations for your decisions, as if your life choices require their approval. But here's the empowering truth. You owe no one an explanation for how you choose to live. Your decisions, big or small, are yours to make, rooted in your values, priorities, and aspirations. Explaining them repeatedly not only invites unwarranted judgment, but also diminishes your confidence. Why? Because the act of justifying your choices shifts the focus from what feels right for you to how others perceive it. And let's be honest, even the most thorough explanation rarely satisfies those determined to question you. Imagine this: you've decided to take a risk, leaving a secure job for a passion project, or skipping a social event to prioritize your mental health. The questions roll in. Why would you leave stability behind? Why weren't you there last night? The temptation to defend yourself is strong, but instead you respond calmly, because it felt right for me. Period. No further details, no breakdown of your reasoning. This response is powerful for two reasons. First, it communicates unwavering confidence. You're making it clear that your decisions aren't open for debate. Second, it sets a boundary, signaling that your life isn't a public forum for opinions. This boundary is crucial for preserving your mental and emotional well-being. So why do people feel entitled to explanations in the first place? Often, it's because your choices challenge their worldview. Maybe you're pursuing a path they're too afraid to take, or perhaps you've rejected societal norms they find comforting. Their discomfort isn't your burden to carry. It's not your job to reassure them or make your life fit into their expectations. By refusing to explain your choices, you reclaim your autonomy. You show the world, and yourself, that your validation comes from within, not from external approval. This shift can be liberating. Suddenly, you're no longer wasting energy on endless justifications. Instead, you're living authentically, aligned with your goals and values. Here's a personal example. When I decided to switch careers, I faced a wave of questions. Why would you leave a secure job? How do you plan to succeed? At first, I felt compelled to explain, detailing my plans, my dreams, my rationale. But no matter how well I articulated my reasons, the questions persisted. Then I realized something. I wasn't responsible for convincing anyone of my path. From that point on, my response was simple: because it felt right. The silence that followed was both awkward and freeing. Over time, the questions stopped. Choosing not to explain yourself doesn't mean being dismissive or cold. It's about prioritizing your peace and confidence. It's about recognizing that your worth isn't tied to others' understanding of your life. Living authentically means trusting yourself enough to make decisions without seeking external approval. It means knowing that your life isn't a committee project, it's a solo masterpiece. And the best part? When you stop explaining yourself, you inspire others to do the same. You show them what it looks like to own your life unapologetically. So the next time someone asks you to justify your choices, pause. Resist the urge to defend. Respond with clarity and confidence. Because it's what felt right for me. Then watch how the conversation shifts, how the power dynamic rebalances. You'll walk away not only unburdened, but also more self-assured, with the quiet confidence of someone who knows their life is theirs to lead. 4. Create distance when needed. Prioritize your energy. Not everyone deserves a front row seat in your life, and that's okay. If someone persistently disrespects you, whether through constant criticism, passive-aggressive comments, or undermining behavior, it's time to step back. This isn't about holding grudges or being overly dramatic. It's about drawing boundaries and safeguarding your energy. Imagine your life as an exclusive club. VIP access isn't handed out to just anyone. It's reserved for those who uplift, support, and inspire you. Toxic individuals, however, tend to overstay their welcome, draining your mental and emotional reserves without adding value. By limiting your interactions with such people, you reclaim not only your time, but also your peace. Think of it this way: allowing toxic individuals unlimited access to your life is like handing them a remote control to your emotions. Every disrespectful comment or dismissive gesture chips away at your sense of self. By creating distance, you're taking back that control. You're telling the world and yourself that your well-being is your top priority. For example, consider a friend who constantly belittles your ambitions or dismisses your achievements. You might have brushed it off initially, thinking, that's just how they are. But over time, the pattern becomes draining, making you feel smaller with each interaction. Instead of confronting them with endless explanations or seeking their approval, you quietly start to create space. Perhaps you see them less frequently or redirect conversations when they veer into negative territory. What happens next? You feel lighter, freer. The clarity that comes from stepping back allows you to recognize how much better you feel without their constant negativity. Letting go of guilt is a crucial part of this process. Society often tells us to be endlessly forgiving, especially with family or long-term friends. But forgiveness doesn't mean allowing people to trample over your boundaries. Distancing yourself isn't an act of hatred, it's an act of self-respect. It's about valuing your peace over their proximity. Here's the beauty of creating distance. It opens up space for growth. When you remove the noise of toxic relationships, you gain room to nurture the connections that truly matter, those with people who see and respect your worth. The more you surround yourself with positivity, the more confident and fulfilled you'll feel. Distancing yourself doesn't require dramatic announcements or ultimatums. It can be as simple as redirecting your focus, choosing to spend your energy on things and people that bring joy, not frustration. Over time, those who can't match your energy will naturally fade into the background. So ask yourself, who in your life consistently respects your boundaries or drains your energy? Do they truly deserve such significant access to your mind and emotions? If the answer is no, it's time to create some distance. This isn't selfish, it's self-care in its purest form. In protecting your energy, you're sending a powerful message. I respect myself enough to walk away from what doesn't serve me. That's not just a boundary, it's a declaration of self-worth. 5. Hold your head high. Own your worth with confidence. When faced with disrespect, the most powerful response is not always what you say, but how you carry yourself. Confidence is your silent armor, an invisible yet impenetrable shield. When someone tries to make you feel small through dismissive comments or condescending gestures, resist the urge to shrink. Instead, stand tall, meet their gaze with calm assurance, and let your very presence declare, I know my worth. There's something profoundly disarming about someone who refuses to be rattled by negativity. People who thrive on disrespect often expect to see their targets falter, to slouch, avert their eyes, or stumble over their words. But when you maintain your composure, holding your head high and your posture strong, you're sending a clear, unspoken message. Your words don't define me, and your actions can't diminish me. Imagine entering a room filled with critical energy, or facing someone notorious for belittling others. Instead of reacting to their jabs or internalizing their negativity, walk in like you belong there, because you do. Shoulders back, chin up, and with every step, radiate the confidence of someone who knows their value. This isn't arrogance, it's self-respect. For example, picture a colleague who constantly makes snide remarks about your ideas during meetings. While the temptation to defend yourself or lash out is strong, there's a more powerful approach. Sit up straight, maintain eye contact, and let their words roll off you like water off a stone. You might nod slightly to acknowledge their comment, then continue with your point as if their negativity doesn't even register. This not only preserves your energy, but also subtly asserts your dominance over the situation. Confidence doesn't mean you're unbothered by everything. It means you choose not to let negativity dictate your actions. Over time, this mindset rewires how you view disrespect. It becomes less about proving yourself to others and more about staying true to who you are. Holding your head high is also about reclaiming your narrative. People who disrespect others often do so to project their insecurities or assert control. By standing firm and unshaken, you disrupt that dynamic. You're no longer playing their game, you're setting your own rules. This is not just about physical posture, but mental posture as well. It's about embracing a mindset that says, I don't need your validation because I've already validated myself. This self-assuredness, often throws disrespectful individuals off balance, as their power lies in your reaction. When there's no reaction to feed on, their influence diminishes. And here's the truth: confidence is contagious. The more you practice it, the more natural it becomes. You'll start noticing a shift, not just in how others treat you, but in how you treat yourself. You'll walk into every room knowing that your worth isn't determined by someone else's opinions or actions. It's yours, inherent and untouchable. So the next time someone tries to undermine you, take a deep breath and hold your head high. Let your calm, composed demeanor remind them, and yourself, that you're not here to play small. You're here to stand tall, own your worth, and thrive unapologetically. Confidence is more than a shield. It's a declaration that says, I know who I am, and nothing you say can take that away. 6. Focus on what you can control. The Stoic path to inner peace. One of the core principles of Stoicism is this profound truth. You can't control the actions of others, but you have complete authority over your own responses. This principle becomes your guiding light when dealing with disrespect. Instead of fixating on the hurtful actions or words of others, shift your focus inward. Redirect your energy toward mastering your emotions and reinforcing your sense of purpose. Disrespect can often feel like an attack on your identity, provoking an instinctive desire to retaliate or prove your worth. But ask yourself, what do I gain by letting their behavior dictate my emotions? By centering your response around what truly matters, your peace, values, and goals, you reclaim your power and rise above the negativity. Imagine a colleague dismissing your ideas during a team meeting. It's tempting to counteract their behavior or call them out publicly, but would that truly serve you? Instead, channel your focus on refining your work, demonstrating its value through actions rather than words. Your success and unshaken demeanor will speak volumes, and their attempts to undermine you will lose significance in the face of your unwavering professionalism. The same applies to personal relationships. If a friend repeatedly makes passive-aggressive remarks, it's natural to feel compelled to confront them or seek an apology. However, consider this: by dwelling on their behavior, you grant them power over your thoughts and emotions. Instead, prioritize nurturing connections with those who uplift and support you. Surround yourself with individuals who respect your boundaries, and let the rest fall away without unnecessary drama. This practice is not about suppressing your feelings or ignoring disrespect. It's about shifting the narrative by focusing on what's within your control. Your actions, reactions, and mindset, you reclaim your inner peace. The disrespect of others becomes background noise in the symphony of your purpose-driven life. In the words of Epictetus, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. When you embrace this mindset, disrespect loses its sting. You realize that your worth is not determined by the actions of others, but by your steadfast commitment to living in alignment with your values. Here's a challenge for you. The next time someone disrespects you, pause. Reflect on whether their actions truly warrant a response, and if so, choose one that aligns with your integrity and goals. By focusing on what you can control, you'll find that the storms of disrespect become opportunities to practice resilience, strength, and grace. Let this be your mantra. I can't control the winds, but I can adjust my sails. Life's too short to let others define your worth. Your self-worth is far too precious to be dictated by others. The more you nurture respect for yourself, the less space there is for anyone's disrespect to leave a mark. These strategies, embracing silence, setting boundaries, and holding your head high, are not merely tools to manage others, they're declarations of self-honor. When someone challenges your limits, take a moment to pause and remember, you hold the reins of your response. Respect is not something you demand. It's a way of being that starts within. Choose to live with grace, wield strength with quiet purpose, and exude the unshakable confidence of a true Stoic. After all, the path to self-respect isn't just about navigating the actions of others. It's about embodying the dignity you deserve in every step you take. If this resonates with you, Please like and subscribe to Daily Stoic Practice, and share your insights in the comments. Your thoughts may inspire others on their own journeys to inner peace and resilience. Don't miss our daily videos, insightful discussions, and practical tips for applying Stoic principles to your modern life.